Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how I like to make a Japanese cotton cheesecake. This was a request by my sister a long time ago, so I'm thrilled to make it for you because it's one of her favorites, and you'll see why just a little bit later. But it's really good, it's really easy, and it's delicious, and it's so, like the texture itself, it's so fun. It's not the texture of a traditional cheesecake, but it's like eating clouds. It's so amazing. Let me run you through the list of ingredients because there are not very many. What you'll need is some cream cheese and unsalted butter. They need to be somewhat at room temperature. I've got eggs that I've separated into yolks and the egg whites. I've got some sifted cornstarch and a little bit of salt, sugar divided. You need lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, whole milk, and some cream of tartar. All right, so let's get going. The first things first is you get your oven preheated to 325 in a saucepan. You can do this over a double boiler if you feel like you're gonna scorch your mixture because you don't want to burn it, but I'm gonna keep a very close eye on it, so I'm gonna just do it in a saucepan. I'm gonna add my milk and then my cream cheese and my butter, and then over low heat I am just going to cook this, stirring and whisking the whole time. I've got my Nana's favorite weapon. I've got a wooden spoon and I've got my silicone whisk, just because this is a nonstick pan. And I am just gonna cook this very slowly until everything melts. You're not looking for the mixture to actually boil or really cook it. You're just looking for everything to melt so it's a really smooth mixture. And then once it's there, I'm gonna pour it in this jug and set it aside to cool a little bit. All right, that is my cream cheese mixture, and that's gonna set aside while we work on everything else. I'm gonna start with the egg whites. You can start with the egg yolk portion. The reason I'm starting with the egg whites is because Mama lazy, and so I'm gonna use the same beaters, and then that way I don't have to wash them in between, because if I were to start with the egg yolks, I have to wash them in between really, really well, otherwise the egg whites won't develop stiff peaks. Add your egg whites and your cream of tartar, and now start whisking these until they become nice and frothy. All right, once it's frothy, you're going to start adding in your sugar a little bit at a time until the egg white becomes really stiff. And this could take up to 10 minutes, so just keep an eye on it and keep whisking. See how the peaks just stay like that? That's how you know you're in business. Okay, get those out of, perfect. Whoops. Set this aside, move bowl to it. I'm going to add my egg yolks. Let me just grab this spatula so I can get all the egg yolks off. There we go, and the remaining sugar. And now I'm going to whisk these until really light and pale and fluffy. And this is probably just gonna take 3 or 4 minutes, not as long as the egg whites, but be patient. I know this cake recipe looks like it's got a lot of steps, but they're all really easy, and the end result is so worth it. Beautiful. Okay, now to this, I'm gonna add my cornstarch. You wanna make sure your cornstarch is sifted. You want it to be really nice and smooth, no lumps, and your lemon juice. Lemon juice is pivotal here because without it, you'll have a very strong eggy taste, but with the lemon juice, perfect. And I'm just gonna mix this in until it's really nice and combined. Okay, and now we just need to add the melted cream cheese, butter, and milk mixture. And now just, once again, mix until it's thoroughly combined. That looks gorgeous and really smooth. Okay, now, slowly, a little bit at a time, you're going to add your egg whites until you just fold them in, but a little bit at a time, and be careful not to deflate the egg whites, otherwise you're gonna lose the texture that this cake is known for. This looks perfect. Now, let me talk you through this this contraption here because it's very important. This is a 9-inch springform pan. It's important that it's 9 inches, no bigger, no smaller. What I have I just put a piece of parchment paper on the inside and the bottom, and I have sprayed it liberally with nonstick spray. If you don't want to use nonstick spray, just go ahead and use some softened butter, but you have to make sure every little piece of that pan is well oiled or buttered or whatever. Otherwise, the cake is going to stick in certain places and then it's just not going to rise well. And you need to put your cake tin in a bigger pan, like this one, for example, with high size, because you need to bake this in a water bath. So now I'm just going to look at the texture of this. I mean, it looks like mousse, doesn't it? Look how gorgeous. Get it all out. And what I have here next to me is I have some water that I just brought to a simmer. You need to use really hot water because, like I said, you need to cook this in a water bath. And the reason why you're cooking it in a water bath is because otherwise the sides would burn. And speaking of burning, I also have one of my racks of my oven on the very bottom, because you want to cook this on the very bottom portion of your oven. And now carefully add your water to your pan. You want it to come up about half the way up the sides of your springform pan. And obviously you want to wrap the outside of the pan with a couple layers of foil so that there's no way the water is going to seep in. Now you're going to bake this for an hour and 10 minutes at 325. You don't want to open the door of the oven at least for the first 45 minutes. After the first 45 minutes, I just turn my oven light on to check on it. If I see that the top is getting too brown too quickly, then I just cover it loosely with some aluminum foil. Usually I don't care if the top gets a beautiful golden brown color because I think that gives it more character. But if you feel like you want yours really pale, then cover after 45 minutes. But don't open the oven door for the first 45 minutes. In total, this needs to bake for an hour and 10 minutes. Then you need to turn the oven off and leave the cake in the oven for an additional hour. And then you bring it out and let it cool to room temperature. So I'm just going to pop this in and I'll show you what it looks like when it is done. All right, so I told you earlier that my sister was the one who requested this cake, so I figured it might as well be that she's the one taste testing it. And also, can we just pay attention to the boss in the room? I know you guys want to see her a lot, but she'll be here and there, in Laura in the Kitchen here and there periodically. But look at her. She's like the boss that is really upset right now that she can't taste this cake. So how about you do the honors and you give this a go?
Oh my God, my mouth is watering.
It's really spongy. Go ahead. Be a lady. Don't eat the whole thing in one bite. We come from the same family.
It's so good. It's delicious.
Is it good?
Yeah.
So the thing about this cake, it's texture. It's like a sponge. I don't know how else to describe it. Am I right?
I mean, yeah.
It's like a sponge. It's like a really soft, squidgy, deliciously light and airy cake that is so good. It's addictive. The boss is done, therefore I'm done. But to get this recipe, just go to laurainthekitchen.com. She's sleepy. I hope you guys enjoy spending time with me. Say bye, friends. You keep eating your cake. She's gonna say bye. She's gonna go sleepy. Bye.